So this year, Shimano Japan did something pretty surprising, and they actually unveiled a lot of their new 2024 products a couple weeks early. And among those products is a reel that a lot of you guys have been waiting for, and that is a new Metanium DC. And let me tell you what, guys, this reel looks devastating. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you guys a couple of videos showcasing this new Metanium, and then we're gonna go to Shimano's website and check it out. So this video is on Shimano's YouTube page. I think it's called Shimano TV, and we're just gonna fast forward through a lot of this stuff because it's in Japanese, of course, but there's a flash of the new reel. And you can see they are keeping the really small, compact current Metanium frame, which is good. Alright, there's a good picture of the reel right there. Let me go back and pause it. So immediately you see something different. At least I do. I see these letters here, and these are the line settings for the DC brake mode, but you can see they're on the outside. And you can also see that the reel looks to be black. So the regular Metanium is going to be like a dark gray. The shallow spool edition is going to be bright silver, and this DC is going to be black. And it looks to have like a chrome cover piece over the gearbox. As you can see right there, looks to be chrome. I could be wrong, but it reminds me a lot of my Engetsu inshore reel, and that reel looks really badass. So let's keep on playing. Alright, I'm gonna fast forward to 2 minutes and 12 seconds. And I'm showing you guys the look of the reel more than anything. Yep, you can see it's pretty dark. Looks like it's got some flake in it. But yeah, you can clearly see the NFP for nylon, fluoro, or P for PE or braid. Kind of looks dark gray there. But here he's casting into a headwind. And anyone who has owned a DC reel knows that there are no better reels when it comes to casting in windy conditions. Okay, looks like he hooked into something there. That's a pretty big bass. And it got away. So I'm going to fast forward to the 9-minute mark. There's some more action shots. So let me know in the comments what you think of this new DC reel. And you can see right there, let me go back a little bit, that the reel does look really dark, and it looks to have a chrome side plate cover. Very reminiscent of the Engetsu I have, and also I think the Antares Monster Drive. Yeah, the reel looks darker than the regular Metanium there. Yep, you can definitely see that it appears that that side plate cover is chrome or silver. So this just might be, other than the Cardiff and Conquest 50 DC, the most compact DC reel Shimano's ever made. Or maybe the Conquest 100 might be more compact, but as far as low profile goes, it's going to come down to either this one or the SLX DC XT. And I'll definitely compare once I get my Metanium DC in. Yep, you can definitely tell it looks kind of black there. There he is doing a long cast into the wind. Doing some pitching. Obviously it's going to come with the MGL3 spool. He just hit the camera right there. So now we're over at another Shimano Pro Staffer's YouTube page, and this is going to be just him talking about the new reel and comparing it with the other reels in Japanese, of course. But I'm going to fast forward to the areas where he's going to show you the new reel up close. So we get to see it, I guess, in a non-cinematic fashion. So I'm going to fast forward to 2 minutes and 40 seconds. So right there, the reel looks piano black, almost like the old Scorpion DC, and personally I think that's awesome. Alright, so I'm going to go skip over to, looks like 10 minutes in. I think he's going to show off the new brake system, or new-ish brake system. So it looks like the side cover is removed the same way as the current Metaniums, but you can definitely see there that there is no lettering on this DC unit. So I'm going to fast forward over to 14 minutes 32 seconds. Boom, look at that. Now this, I guess, still frame, it looks kind of blue almost. But yeah, I really like this new color. You can see just how small it is. And you can also see they didn't bother to push that line guide out further forward. But don't worry, we're going to go into the brakes here in a second. But I think he's got one more close-up about right here somewhere. Boom, look at that. You see the MGL3 spool, and he's gonna compare it to, pretty sure, the old Metanium. Oh, here we go. Alright, so I'm pretty sure I saw him put them up side by side with each other. But it's pretty much the same size difference between the old Metanium and this newer 2020 Metanium body style. So it's a lot smaller, more compact. And damn. Alright, well, let's go to Shimano's webpage and check out all the nitty-gritty details. Alright, so Shimano Japan's website, and you guys can go here yourselves and check it out. But we're going to go over to reel, lure casting, and boom, here we go. The new Metanium DC, and it definitely looks black in this picture with the chrome side plate cover, just like the Antares DC MD. Alright, so the price is going to be 62,000 yen. So when it eventually comes out, it's probably going to be about, with the current exchange rate, probably under $450. And if it comes to America, you can bet this thing is probably going to be $600. Alright, so it says Jet Black Neo Versatile. 9 years after the previous work, Metanium DC is reborn as a neo-versatile machine. The low inertia MGL3 spool uses 34 by 19 millimeter, which has a good balance of lightness in startup and elongation, and excellent versatility. The brake is equipped with a DC brake that instantly senses changes in spool rotation using a microcomputer and adjusts the braking force. Adopts a new firmware with excellent long distance casting performance and anti-backlash performance. S3D spool for low vibration and silent tune. Maximize casting performance. In addition, the smooth winding micromodular gear is supported by X-Ship. Blah 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 blah. The highly textured and deep black exterior looks great in the field and gives you a sense of ownership. Alright, so they're pretty much saying it is deep jet black. And let's look at some more of these pictures here. Alright, I like it. Okay, so we're gonna get into the new brake system here. And what's new with it is you can actually make the line adjustments from the outside now. So it's kind of hard to see here, but you see the N, the F, and the P. Now that used to be on the inside of the reel. You had to actually open up the side plate to switch to line modes, which was pretty annoying. But now they've wisely put the adjustment on the outside. And right here where my cursor is, that's the adjustment dial for the line mode, and then up here is going to be your adjustment dial while in the line mode. So it's still an IDC5 with 3 line modes and then 5 settings for each line mode for a total of 15, which is kind of outdated in my opinion, but the fact that they've moved the line mode adjustment to the outside is the big plus, and I don't think we're going to see anything as far as a massive change in the DC units probably until the next Antares DC. But here's a little video. He's pointing out the, yep, he's adjusting the line mode right there. Mode F for fluorocarbon, obviously. Nylon, mode N. PE, mode P, or braid. And in case you didn't know, nylon is monofilament. So here he is casting into a strong headwind, but the significance of this is that, let's say you need to skip and you need to crank the brakes up to their strongest setting, which is going to be the fluorocarbon mode. So then normally if you're in a different mode like braid or nylon, you'd have to open up the side plate, which is not attached, and then you have to make the change and then put the side plate back on. So now you can just reach down and flip that dial and you're automatically in that fluorocarbon mode, which gives you the strongest brakes. Or if you want a long cast and need a few more feet of casting distance, you just flip it over to the braid mode, which is the braking profile that has the least amount of brakes, at least from my experience, and then you can start long casting. Alright, so obviously it's using the same magnesium core solid frame and body. It's going to have aluminum micromodule gears, and if you can see that they're assigning this reel the 70 designation, which in Shimano that's line capacity. So this reel is not going to hold a lot of line. A light casting feel and long distance casting that will change the image of DC. Now let's read this. DC has the image of being a brake that can suppress line dandruff and allow you to cast without backlash even when throwing a lure with resistance, being fanned by a headwind, or making tricky casts such as skipping. Think. That is also a big advantage. However, it is also true that in the past the braking force of the DC was sometimes too strong during short casts, and it lacked the extra power of the SVS brake. However, the new Metanium DC doesn't look like DC in a good way. You can enjoy the relaxed long distance casting performance of SVS, and there is no backlash even without summing, and summing is just a bad translation of thumbing. Now when I cast him for the first time, I couldn't hide my surprise. In recent years I've been competing in America, and I especially feel the need for long casts. Up until now, ANTARES DC has been used for fishing where flight is important, but Metanium DC, which has excellent long distance casting performance and excellent versatility for various types of fishing, will be used more and more in the future. So of course, take this with a grain of salt because he's a Shimano pro staffer, but you heard it here. It says that this reel is made for long casting. Alright, so you're going to have your regular, which I think is 6.2, your HG, and then your XG. So it looks like right hands are going to come out first, but let's check this out. So yeah, 6.2, 7.1, and 8.1 are the gear ratios, but it looks like the weight, at least of the 6.2 and the 7.1 gear ratios, are going to be the same as the non-DC Metaniums, which is good. So this is going to be the lightest weight DC reel ever, if that's true. Now the XGs are going to be a little bit heavier by 5 grams, but usually when you put a DC brake unit into a Shimano reel, it generally gains almost an ounce of weight. So this is awesome that they've put the DC unit into the Metanium and kept it around the same weight, and I'm thinking that's probably due to that aluminum gear. But now let's check out when they are expected to arrive. Right here it says release month is undecided. We will notify you once the release month has been decided. So some of you guys may or may not know, but recently Japan suffered an earthquake, I guess in the middle part of the country, and thankfully I heard it wasn't that bad, but that may or may not cancel the upcoming Japanese fishing shows. And if they are canceled, I can completely understand why. The whole country is probably just going to rally around and help rebuild that area. But yeah, we're going to get a new Metanium DC. We don't know when it's going to come out, but I did already put my pre-order in with Japan Lure Shop. And if you're wanting one of these, I suggest you contact your favorite JDM vendor and put your pre-order in as well. Now, as more information comes out about this reel, I'm sure more videos will. I will share that with you guys in the future. And be on the lookout for more videos of me covering all the interesting new stuff that they released in addition to this new Metanium DC. Alright guys, thanks a lot.